suppose I'm in this one.
You are.
Okay. There we go.
Hello everyone. Hello. James, would you like to start?
How you doing? Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm fine.
Couldn't force my way past Nigel Park.
Roy, how's the team news looking? Did everyone get through midweek unscathed?
Yes, luckily, thank you, yes. So, we've got a large squad to choose from, which is very positive.
How's Wilfred Zaha recovery coming on?
Coming on very well, I believe, yeah. Obviously, he does most of his work with the sports science and medical people at the moment. They haven't pushed him out onto the field with us at this moment in time, but all the feedback I'm getting is very, very positive, and the initial thought that by the time the international break comes around, he'll be ready to join in training with the squad is still on course.
So is the Chelsea game still the target?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it'll be important to listen to the medical advice, to listen to Wilf himself. He's been out a long time, and it would be nice if he's back for Chelsea, but it'll have to be in agreement, if you like, with the doctors, and he will have to feel himself that he's ready.
The win in midweek, how much of a boost has that given you, the players?
I think all wins give you a boost. You know, you can't underestimate the importance of that. But it's only one win, and we need a lot more of them between now and May. But I'm certainly not prepared to say anything other than it was a positive thing for the team, for the squad, for us, the new coaching staff, and of course it means that we're in the next round of the Carabao Cup, and that's something that we set out to do.
What positives did you take from it?
I think obviously I suppose the biggest positive is always that you win, and we all know in football that even winning ugly is better than playing very well and losing. But I also took a lot of satisfaction from the way the team played, especially in the first half. We tired in the second half. That would be normal because we're working quite hard on the training field, and B, it's new for them. You know, what we're trying to do is perhaps a little bit new for them. So I wasn't surprised that we tired a bit, but I was very pleased with the performance, and even more pleased that we got a win.
What did you make of Mamadou Sakho's performance? How?
Good, yeah, very good. I mean, I'd heard so many good things about him. I'd obviously seen him play for Liverpool and towards the end of the season for Palace last year, but I can understand why he's made himself a bit of a favourite with the Selhurst fans, because his performance the other night was very assured, very composed, showed a lot of quality both with the ball and without the ball, and considering it was his first game for a long time, it was even more than we perhaps could have hoped for.
How much of a difference do you think he can make individually, having him at the centre of your defence?
Well, I think the central defence has been reasonably strong, to be fair. You know, Tompkins played well the other night. Damien Delaney, when he came on, did a good job. I don't know that the centre of the defence has been a major problem area, but of course he does strengthen that area of our team, and we hope that with his quality, with his leadership qualities too, he will help us move away from the relegation zone.
Is he match fit to start against?
Yes, I think he is, yes. Well, I know he is. So.
Are you going to start?
Yes.
In terms of the next three fixtures, Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea, how do you approach these next three games? Do you set yourself a points target at all?
I think that would be a foolish thing to do, to set yourself a points target, because you might be setting yourself up for failure in that points target. We all know how good those teams are. We all know that at the moment the top teams, especially with the recruitment that they've been able to make, you know, some of the best players in Europe are playing in those three top teams now. We know that it's going to be a tough ask for us, but we just take every game as it comes. It might be it's not a cliche, but it's an old chestnut to take each game as it comes and to try and do your best in that game and cause the opposition as many problems as you can and try and make certain you don't concede. But that's all we can do, and it will be pointless for me to get the players in and start saying this is our points target. Our target's got to be to play well at the Etihad Stadium. We've got to, you know, really show that we are very competitive and that we can give them a very good game. And you know, we've got to hope that our performance is better maybe than we could possibly expect, and that their performance will be worse than their manager could possibly expect.
What do you say to the players when you got these 3 fixtures coming up? Do you just say the pressure's off? How do you approach it?
I think the pressure's never off, that would be foolish to do that. I don't think you can ever say to players the pressure is off. I don't know what game we're going to play this season when I can say to them the pressure is off. We need points, we need performances. They're playing for places in the team, they're playing to impress me and my coaching staff and to show that we're the ones you should be counting on going forward. So the pressure will undoubtedly be there. But I think the one thing you do need to remember when you're at the wrong end of the table and you're playing teams at the correct end or the right end of the table, especially with the quality those 3 teams you've mentioned have got, this is why we're in the Premier League. We're here because we actually want to be playing and testing ourselves out in these arenas and against this quality of opposition. So one shouldn't be worried or anxious or scared about the challenge that we've got ahead. You should really be embracing that. But realistically, we know that on paper they have a better chance perhaps of winning the game than we do. But it's on paper, and the game isn't played on paper, it's played on the field, so let's give it a go.
Man City have scored 15 goals in the last 3 games.
You're reminding me of a lot of very nicely there. Haven't got a few more statistics, have you? This week we work at the moment on our style of play. Really, we from Saturday to Tuesday we did a little bit of work on what we want to see. We thought there was some positive signs on Tuesday. We've carried on working on that on the couple of sessions we've had. But when you play midweek, you don't get the full week, so you don't get as much chance, if you like, to really do the sort of work and the intensive work in training on your play that you would like, just simply because you're always pre-match, post-match. But we know what task lies ahead of us, and we know that it's going to be a long one and maybe even an arduous one. But as I said in my initial press conference, May is still a long way off, and it's up to us to make certain we keep improving, keep working hard, and hopefully pick up some points along the way, so when May comes around we'll be at the right end of the table as far as we're concerned.
I can ask you as well about Mark Sampson's dismissal. What have you made of the way the FA handled it?
No, I don't have anything to add on that subject really. I left the FA a year ago. Mark and I crossed paths a few times, but not that often, if I'm to be totally honest. And what happens there stays there. As far as I'm concerned, I really think I've got more than enough work, more than enough challenges on my hands, more than enough to think about here at Crystal Palace, and I'll leave the FA to deal with their situations, and I shall try and deal with the ones that are occurring for us here.
Thank you.
I don't really want to talk any more about it, and because, as I say, I think that I've answered it in the way I want to answer it, and you'll have to go with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pete.
Right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How do you stop a team like Manchester City? Because they're such an attacking force, which they've proven at the moment.
Yeah.
And they've got, it's not just, we've got Aguero who's getting the majority of the goals, but Jesus,
Sure. Well, I think all you can do, quite frankly, is to make certain you keep working on your game, working on the defensive side, in particular if we're talking about stopping them scoring, of our game, making certain that we're doing the things that we think we need to do and want to do well, and certainly to the best of our ability. If it turns out that they have just a bit too much firepower, and even doing the things we want to do and playing as we want to do, they can still score goals. We, like the rest of the teams they've been beating, we'll probably have to accept that. But at the moment, we think we're going there in a reasonably confident mood. We think, and I'm sure the players think, that they know what their jobs are and what their roles are, and they'll be working very hard to perform those roles. And we'll see how far that takes us. But certainly I'm being bombarded with statistics about how wonderful they are, but it doesn't faze me at all, because I think that the players know what they've got to do, and they'll try very hard to do it, and we'll see where it leads us.
I would imagine from playing colour stores, you've got to implement a total changing in tactics for this game against Manchester City. Is there a temptation, like Sam Allardyce famously did a few years ago at Chelsea, just to park the bus and absorb all the pressure?
I don't know that we need to particularly change our tactics from Huddersfield. Huddersfield are a good team, you know, they have a lot of attacking firepower, so the way we set up to try and defend against them and pressurise the ball and keep compact, really that's what all teams try to do. What sometimes stops that from really succeeding is the fact the opposition has got some exceptional players, and you know they can break through even the most compact of defences. But that's going to be our aim, and we'll be working very hard to even improve upon the first half performance that we saw against Huddersfield, and hopefully cause Manchester City a few problems of our own.
Is it looking like Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea and the Premier League?
Well, again, you know, you're asking me questions. I'm managing Crystal Palace at the moment, and I'm, you know, really focusing all my attention on trying to get Crystal Palace higher up the table and away from the relegation zone. At this moment in time, which of those three, or you can add other teams to it, win the league, that's something I'll leave to you journalists for this moment in time, and I'll just concentrate on my job, which is being the manager of Crystal Palace Football Club and trying to coach and improve the team here.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes the broadcast section. We'll start with